rise and live again as my fist of vengeance, as my Moon Knight.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things you missed in Moon Knight Episode 5.
Little silly Tash there. It's very Ned Flanders.
For this list, we're looking at the best Easter eggs and references in the latest episode of the lunar-themed show. If you haven't caught up on the series up to this point, beware of spoilers ahead. What was your favorite scene in this week's episode? And do you think Dr. Harrow really looks like Ned Flanders? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Steven's tragic fall was already hinted at. After Steven and Mark confirm they're in the underworld, they realize their souls must be balanced to arrive in the peaceful field of reeds.
If the scale's balanced by the time you end the journey, then a soul is permitted to pass into the field of reeds.
What if they don't balance?
You get thrown overboard. Whee!
The duo goes through a lot of hard and emotional work to achieve this task. Unfortunately, Steven falls off the boat before Mark arrives in the field of reeds. This tragic turn was painfully hinted at in episode 1. While Steven is talking to a child at a museum, she suggests that Steven didn't make it to a peaceful afterlife.
And did it suck for you? Getting rejected from the field of reeds?
Well, that don't make sense, because I'm not dead, am I?
We're not sure if that girl could see the future or if her statement was just clever writing. Either way, we hope Steven can return somehow to fight alongside Mark again. Number 9. A similar Putnam mental health facility was part of Moon Knight's origins. When we learned more about the mental health facility Mark and Steven both spent time in during episode 5, a few important connections rose to the surface.
Your brain is a pendulum swinging between a very difficult reality that you are my patient here at Putnam Medical Facility in Chicago, Illinois.
For starters, it's located in Chicago, Illinois, which happens to be in Mark's traditional hometown. A facility like this is originally factored into his life much earlier.
Or a library.
Or a psych ward?
Yeah, or it could be. Could be a psych ward, yeah.
In the comics, Mark was sent to live in Putnam Psychiatric Hospital for displaying signs of dissociative identity disorder when he was a teen. He later resented his parents and accused them of placing him there because they were ashamed of him. While Mark spends time in the facility as an adult in the show, his stay there mirrors the comics because it wasn't his decision to spend time inside.
Hey, thank you. I feel really great. I mean, they must pay you a lot of money in this place.
Number 8. Wendy Spector's actress could have appeared on another Marvel show.
What are you doing here?
Come on, buddy.
You were supposed to keep him safe?
Actress Fernanda Andrade demonstrated her incredible acting talents by portraying both the gentle highs and brutal lows that Wendy Spector reached. While this role marks her official MCU debut, she could have starred in a very different Marvel program. Andrade was originally attached to appear in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off called Marvel's Most Wanted.
Once you're back, we'll change your identities, move your families, and unfortunately you'll be done in the field, but we'll
Sir,
find—
I think that we've proven we're not built for the lab or for office work.
Or prison.
According to early character descriptions, she would have played a formidable and resourceful woman named Cristina Santos that would have assisted former agents Bobby Morse and Lance Hunter. Unfortunately, the show never made it past the pilot stage. We're glad the very talented Andrade got a second chance to make her mark on a Marvel show.
I should have known you would do something like this.
Number 7. Steven had a dark and different origin in the comics. The 5th episode revealed that Steven was created as a way for Mark to cope with being severely mistreated by his mother.
All this time I thought I was the original, but I'm just something that you made up. You've got to live a happy, simple, normal life.
This revelation mirrored how the second personality came to be in the comics. At a young age, Mark was threatened by an absolutely despicable man who enjoyed taking lives. After he found himself unable to address the traumatic encounter openly, Steven suddenly arrived in his life.
Bloody hell. Look at the state of this place.
Mark found that this new friend wanted to be a filmmaker. After a pleasant conversation, Mark learns that he's the only one who can see Stephen. This duo originally began coexisting because of unfortunate circumstances. However, they eventually grew to accept the past and began to appreciate having each other around.
You're gonna have to open up to Stephen. There can be no progress without understanding.
Number 6. Tawaret confirms that multiple MCU faiths can coexist.
You'd be surprised how many intersectional planes of untethered consciousness exist.
Yeah.
Like the ancestral plane. Oh, just gorgeous.
While Tawaret is with the heroes, she specifically compliments a sacred place for Wakandan citizens that have passed on.
Allow the heart-shaped herb to restore the powers of the Black Panther and take you to the ancestral plane.
This sweet Black Panther reference arrived just after the audience learned the ancestral plane isn't the only resting place for souls.
So this is the afterlife? The afterlife?
An afterlife, not the afterlife.
Tawaret's confirmation of several afterlives would likely bring comfort to several big MCU heroes. Asgardians would be happy to learn their fallen comrades were accepted into Valhalla. At the same time, Daredevil would feel more secure about his Catholic faith. Moon Knight might want to speak about his Tawaret encounter when he returns to the world of the living. Anyone he talks to will feel more at ease about whatever they choose to believe in, if they believe that Mark spoke to a talking hippo goddess.
And that you were with a rhinoceros and
Hippopotamus.
You're right. You're right. It was a hippopotamus, and but it talked.
Number 5. Mark's military background has one significant change from the comics. Although Mark has hinted at his military origins, the 5th episode gave us more direct references to his time in the armed forces and mercenary career than we've gotten in any previous episode. While exploring a violent memory, Mark detailed why he's no longer serving in the American Armed Forces.
Turns out going AWOL in a fugue state gets you discharged from the military.
His explanation perfectly mirrors a comic flashback where he was discharged after he unknowingly wandered into a minefield. However, the show throws a major curveball by introducing the idea that Bushman was once his superior while he was in the military.
Turns out going AWOL in a fugue state gets you discharged from the military. Didn't have a ton of options after that, so I went work for hire for my old CO, Bushman. The job was to raid an Egyptian tomb.
The comic version was just another mercenary Mark met in the world. Making Bushman a former superior adds an interesting new layer to their already turbulent history.
Bushman changed the plan. Called for no witnesses, and I couldn't live with that. Is that Dr. O'Fooley?
Number 4. Stephen and Mark's history with their mom may fill in narrative gaps. Since Moon Knight traditionally has a strained relationship with his father, we didn't suspect anything bad when he talked to his mother. But once their tragic history and her recent death were revealed, a few scenes made more sense. Stephen has several phone conversations with his mother that just go to voicemail.
Anyway, sorry I missed you, Mum. I'll try again tomorrow. Laters, Gators.
And if you look closer during these talks, it doesn't look like his phone is calling anyone. But the biggest mystery Wendy's passing solves is how Stephen got his apartment. When Layla tracks her ex down to his flat, he quickly says it's not his.
No, this is my mum's flat.
Okay, so you guys are talking again?
It's very possible that he may have inherited it from his mother after she died. Unfortunately, filling in these narrative gaps brought Stephen a lot of pain.
My mom is dead.
Number 3. A sneaky and symbolic QR code. It's been a while since we were able to spot a hidden QR code in a Moon Knight episode, but our wait finally ended when one popped up next to one of Mark's most crucial memories.
Oi, what's this?
Upon scanning the code, you'll get access to Moon Knight's first solo comic. This landmark issue shows events like how Moon Knight first got his powers and how he switches between personalities. The 5th episode notably dedicates a scene to Mark's first encounter with Khonshu.
In exchange for your life, do you swear to protect the travelers of the night and bring my vengeance to those who would do them harm?
Additionally, the QR code specifically appears outside a memory that ends with a switch between personalities. Any fan who scans the code and accesses the comics will likely find even more parallels between the original issue and Mark's trip down memory lane.
Do you remember this? Yeah, I don't know, it's a street. You know, how many streets have you walked down your whole life?
Number 2. Mark's brother originally lived long enough to become a supervillain.
I had a brother.
I'm not hungry. Want to go to the cave? We'll eat later.
A heartbreaking flashback revealed that Mark lost his little brother while they were playing one of their favorite games. This shocking twist was a major departure from other Moon Knight tales.
Boys! Don't go any further! The water's rising way too fast! You've got to get out of here!
In the comics, Mark's brother Randall grew up and became a mercenary while carrying some hateful feelings for his brother. The two siblings clashed several times in heated battles. After Randall took the lives of many people and became known as Shadow Knight, Mark permanently stopped his brother from hurting anyone else. Their tragic final clash is vastly different from how they parted on the show. But in both worlds, Mark feels responsible for his brother's untimely end.
It wasn't your fault. I shouldn't have brought him in that cave. I shouldn't have brought him in the cave. Hey.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. A room full of Easter eggs.
This is my room. I remember some things, but I don't remember this.
Mark and Steven's childhood room is stuffed to the gills with references to the entire series. Speaking of gills, there's a drawing of a one-finned fish that they got from their little brother.
Mom, come check out my drawing.
He drew the fish with only one fin. Mark, be nice to your little brother.
This illustration could explain why Steven felt attached to this one-finned fish in episode 1. Outside of the aquatic reference, you can spot scales that nod to Mark and Steven's quest to balance their scales. The sneakiest nod may be the name Doug Perlin on the movie poster for Tomb Buster. In the real world, writer Doug Mensch and artist Don Perlin are credited as co-creators of Moon Knight. While we're unsure if the room's nunchucks refer to Mr. Knight's weapons, we are positive the room is full of great Easter eggs.
What's this? What is that pose for? Pretty cool, actually.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.